Yo, what's up, guys? Joker here bringing you another video for Path of Exile 2, bringing you my last and final update for my Poison Pathfinder. We're currently level 88. We've cleared the Atlas completely. The only thing that this character hasn't really done is attempted to farm pinnacle bosses, and frankly, I am too poor to buy those invitations. So, I actually am re-rolling into another character that I can use to farm in the meantime. Main reason why I'm swapping off of this Poison Pathfinder is I have over 100 hours of playtime on this character. It was my league starter, right? So I'm just pretty much swapping to play something different. There's nothing wrong with the character. I just want to play something else. So right now, we are in a hybrid state where we have 1900 life and 1200 energy shield. We have 2700 evasion. If we dodge roll, we go up to 2900. And then we are max res, right? Max chaos and elemental res capped. And that's pretty much the gist of the raw stats. If we go ahead and take a look at what we're doing, we have gas arrow with bursting plague, inspiration, deadly poison, this word, and primal armament. Essentially, what I'm doing here, and is a common misconception in my last video, is I'm not really using gas arrow as a damage source. I'm just using gas arrow as a clearing ability. So that's why I preferenced it with it's not really a guide, because what you should probably be doing is what Arrow's doing, and I'll leave a link to his video, but where he's using like the gas arrow as his main skill. I'm not. That's why these skills are weird, because bursting plague isn't even really a damage increase. It's more for like clear, right? So essentially, how my character works is I throw down the gas clouds on bosses, and then I spam my bursting plague, and then those pods poisoning as well as plague bearer. That's where my character is getting all of its damage, right? And then we have Rain of Arrows that is applying Withering Touch, and it has Culling Strike and Expanse. Once again, probably would swap this to Conk Effect on bosses, or maybe even swap to a Totem. I hear Totem might actually feel better, but don't plan on playing the character much more. My other character is so much fun. And I'm going to showcase it at the end. He's at Act 6 Doriani, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. And then we have our Plague Bearer, which is level 20. And the main reason we're using Plague Bearer to do a large portion of our damage is pretty much that last line right there, right? 14,989. It stores 14,989 poison. So essentially, when I'm setting this off, since poison is determined by 20% of your physical and chaos damage, that's what it's getting its base off of. That's why when you see me clear stuff or tanky rares, you'll see them trickle down with the gas cloud. But then if I bought a pop bursting plague, they lose all their HP pretty much instantaneously, right? Then toxic growth, we got elemental focus, corrosion, break posture, and chaos infusion. I said a lot of my damage is coming from here, but it's also really not. This is mainly CC, right? I'm mainly using this to debuff the boss. So my rain of arrows and my toxic growth are really just utility, honestly. Um, and then we have Wind Dancer with Cannibalism, giving us 4% recovered life on top of our toxic leeching, which means we heal 6% of life when an enemy dies, essentially. Wind Dancer with 20 quality gives you an extra stage, so it gives you literally 19% more invasion. Kind of crazy. Then we have Ghost Dancer, right? And what Ghost Dancer does is when you get hit, you consume a Ghost Shroud to recover energy shield equal to 5% of your evasion. Okay, well, we have a ton of evasion, right? We have what, 27K? So that's more than enough to always fill my energy shield back up to full when I'm getting hit. It's a huge defensive layer. And I added despair, but I have no spirit. So I can't really put it on like blasphemy or anything. And I'm way too lazy to actually push the additional button. So this is literally just here. I'm not even pressing this half the time. If we go ahead and take a look at my character, this is what our bow is looking like, right? It has a +5 to projectile skills and a bunch of damage. Yes, I'm aware if I was using gas arrow as a main source of damage, I would want to use like a dual string bow because you get the extra projectiles. And even though GGG hates shotgunning, they really set up gas arrow to shotgun. I'll show you my other character. Uh, then we have my gear, which transitioned all the way to hybrid and ES bases, right? And that's mainly going to be because of the fact that 32, almost 3,300 HP is a lot better than 2,300 HP, right? I gained like 1,000 raw life since the last time. We had to recraft all of our gear. The amulet's the same. This ring is the same. It's my same like monstrous amulet, and then this is just another ring that I threw on because it has rarity. Honestly, that's the main reason. It has chaos res and rarity. I mean, I guess the fire res helps too, right? Quiver is the same. Helmet is just bunch of resistance and then a bunch of evasion and energy shield, right? I believe this belt is new as well, where it just has a lot of life, a lot of mana, and a lot of res. The reason why I like a lot of mana is because this skill eats mana, and it's probably because I'm trying to push gym levels so hard. So that's what that's looking like right now. If we go over to our tree, we made some changes. Essentially, what we did is we took out a lot of points that were going nowhere and we added a bunch of evasion. Our next point is going to go here. And then our level 90 would be acrobatics because at that point we would have like close to 30k evasion and we would have close to 30k evasion. So at that point, acrobatics might feel worth it to me. But apart from that, we're taking Subterfuge Mass for 2% evasion per one maximum energy shield on your helmet. So that's why this has so much energy shield, right? This is like almost an 800 evasion helmet. That's why it's giving me so much evasion. And then over here, Spectral Ward, 1 to maximum energy shield per 12 evasion on equipped body. Okay, well, we have 900. So this is like a 420 plus energy shield thing, right? On top of the fact that it gives me a ton of evasion. So that's pretty much the main differences that we made on the tree. Uh, like I said, next two levels would probably be here and then acrobatics, but I don't plan on playing this character much more. My new character has been honestly much more enjoyable. I mainly was rolling the poison Pathfinder because Chaos Dot is an old reliable in Path of Exile, right? Chaos Dot has always been a steeple, even from many, many years ago in Path of Exile 1. Chaos Dot is always solid. So I figured, okay, I can go a Poison Pathfinder and cruise through to the end game perfectly fine. And that's true. I was able to. Now, let's go ahead and run this T15 map here and show you how the character essentially plays. Uh, Honestly, it plays like a lot of other gas arrow characters. Oh, sorry, a lot of other gas arrow characters you've probably seen, right? Uh, this map isn't really crazy. I mean, if I was using elemental damage, sure, but since I am not, it doesn't really matter. And then I went over the fact that I'm only using one arrow on my gas arrow Theoretically, would it be better just to go ahead and use scatter shot to have poison stack on these little guys faster? Yeah, but counter argument, I don't wanna, and I'm lazy. So pretty much what I normally just do is drop down, and they're staying in the poison clouds long enough anyways that I'm able to just go ahead and usually drop a poison cloud and run. Also, did not know about the siphoner though. If you stay inside the middle of the ring, that then you actually don't lose shit. It's only the outside like highlighted blue area, that's the only time that you're taking damage from that siphoner. I thought it was the entire time. So you have the ability of running away or getting in its face. But yeah, this is pretty much how the character plays. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and in the description, I'm going to leave a link to Arrow's video going over the Poison Pathfinder that he's playing because I believe it's just generically better. He's leaning directly into having Gas Arrow be his source of damage. Um, and he's also really good at like thoroughly explaining stuff. And since I, on the other hand, am not a build creator, I am not the best. So, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much how this character plays. I'm going to cut real quick and then show you the character that I've been playing and then explain it for a little bit because I've kind of shown how this character maps, right? I feel like we've killed a couple of rares. Here's another example. Walk over, Plague Bearer. Rain of arrows, and it's dead. I fucking. Well, it's almost dead. ZDBS Sag. One of the reasons why I'm re-rolling is I really don't want to do a full spec into just pure gas arrow. But yeah, that's pretty much this character. Let me go ahead and grab my new character, and you'll watch me kill Cruel Doriani. Okay, so we're at Cruel Doriani, right? And to show that I'm not like massively over leveled or anything, I'm level 64. And I am not going to show you what is going on until the end, and maybe you'll be able to figure it out, right? As long as I can hit him. Oh my God. Oh, wait, I got to dodge. This is a challenging and difficult boss fight. Oh, okay. And then he's phased. Okay, that was super challenging and super difficult. I think he was able to do like all of like three mechanics. Oh, come on, dude. Let me pop all these real quick. When I kill the boss so fast that he doesn't even fucking finish his RP prior to that. And there is a reason why my damage does like jump all over the place, where a lot of the times it's not super high, but then sometimes it's like a random, like massive hit, right? There is a reason for that. Oh, in case you have trouble with this, all you do is you run to the edge of the circle and then you leave it. Like I saw people were having trouble with that, and I'm like, why? Oh, I'm taking a chaos damage. Style points. Okay, cool. So that was the Cruel Doriani. Um, People have problems with that fight. So let's go ahead and actually try to explain the character because there is a few things going on. This video is already pretty long, so I am not gonna go like super in depth. I will go ahead and make another video going in depth because there is. Oh, cool! And the game crashed. Okay, no, it didn't. Oh, okay, there we go. because there is a lot of stuff actually going on here. So I guess the first thing that we'll look at is our gas arrow, right? And what we're doing essentially is we're benefiting off of this, right? This is the thing that we're scaling. We're scaling our explosion, and our explosion can crit. We're an invoker, so our crit ignores the elemental res that's not negative. That's why sometimes you would just see him take a random like 70, 80k hit, is because I would crit, right? My crit right now is super low. Like, look at this. My crit chance right now is only 15%, pretty much. I have a plan where I'm getting it to at least 50%. I feel like at least 50. I don't know. I was looking at the tree and I don't know if I can really get it to 100, but I'm going to get it to probably at least 50. I've been mainly working on the crit damage multi because a lot of people think that it's a dead stat a lot of times because of the fact that it's not really it's not like super impactful. Like a lot of builds right now aren't crit based, right? There's literally like a few. If you're playing an invoker, then you will play a crit elemental build. But besides that, people really don't like crit because you have to go out of your way to really scale it, and invoker's really the only one that benefits from it. So that's what we're doing. We're going ahead and we're benefiting off of these poison clouds exploding. GGG hates shotgunning, so I have no idea why this is in the game or how long it's going to continue to be in the game. But essentially, what's going on is I'm shooting 3 arrows, each of which are exploding. And oh god, I got a cough really bad. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. So we're shooting 3 arrows, and all of them are exploding. To my knowledge, it's not an all of them can crit or none of them can crit. I believe each one does roll crit individually, right? And this is why a lot of my damage comes from when they're immobilized, because we get a 50% crit chance. So we go to 21% if they are CC'd. So that's why most of my burst comes when they're CC'd. But yeah, um, in my opinion, it feels like they are not rolled together, like not when you fire the attack. It feels like each arrow is able to crit because the damage is kind of all over the place. Majority of the time, it is really good. But even if it is the case, which it probably is, that all of them roll at the same time to see if it is a critical hit or not, doesn't matter because we're just doing so much fucking damage that it does not matter. We have Herald of Ash, Herald of Thunder, and Herald of Ice, as well as Ghost Dance and Wind Dancer. We have Barrage for kind of a meme. I'm planning on testing something out, but it all depends on how it works, right? Essentially, what it does is it fires your attack twice, pretty much. And I'm still playing around with how it feels. But yeah, that's the main part, right? We're using gas arrow and we're exploding it in tri-elemental damage, and that's what's causing enemies to get frozen and stunned and CC'd for so long for the other portion of my damage to kick in. Because I don't know if you noticed his bar, but he kind of went from stunned to frozen to stunned to frozen, right? Um, and these gloves are probably the main factor. I haven't tested it without them, but I'm assuming this is what it's coming from. This is the pair of gloves that I dropped. Well, not corrupted, but just normal. The gloves that I dropped that I'm like, that might be interesting on an invoker because I have the explosion critting and ignoring resistances. And in Path of Exile 1, at least, crits innately apply ailments. They apply shock, they apply freeze, they apply ignite, right? So I'm like, okay. And it's also just a really interesting line because somehow I'm converting what? 109% of my damage. Don't know how that works, but okay. And that is on these gloves. You see this line: elemental damage converted to fire. So after all of my damage is calculated, once again, this is my understanding. After all my damage is calculated, then it is converting it because they changed how conversion works. Then it is converting 36% of it to fire, 39% to cold, and 34% to lightning. And that works really well with nodes like this that are just 10% damage as extra cold. So that just means I get a ton of free damage right there. And that's pretty much the core of it. This video is already 20 minutes. I'm ending it there. Sorry, I cannot explain anymore. I don't want this video to be a million hours long. I will give this character its own video, but as you can see, it's going really, really well. This character has been so much fun to play. I played it since Act 2 originally. This is the same invoker that was hard stuck melee, and then I transitioned it to gas arrow. So technically, I started playing it at level 34, but you could really start playing it as soon as possible because these don't have a level requirement. So you could be, I'd say wait until level 16 so you get the helmet that automates it. But yeah, you can play it as soon as level 16, and it is insanely strong. But that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Am I Gonna Die to the Elements? Thanks for protecting me, Doriani, you dick. Um, but yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with this and future content. Once again, this is not a build guide because this is really all over the place. It's more of a core concept. I want to see if I can grab a good build maker's attention and have them take the concept and like make an OP build, but not Jung because I don't want it to be nerfed into the ground. But yeah, it's probably going to be nerfed into the ground. It's fucking too insane. The main thought process behind this was literally the insane damage multipliers you get from gas arrow, right? Nothing else has even remotely close to a 238 damage multiplier. But yeah, the end.